Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In the previous video we have covered the properties, some of the properties of parallelogram. Now we are going to, based on that, we are going to discuss some problems, and then again we'll discuss the remaining properties of the parallelogram. Let's have a look into that. We have been given the question that in the given figure ABCD is a parallelogram, and this is a parallelogram, and ABEF is a rectangle. So we have two figures in this. So first of all, you need to understand that point. So ABCD is a parallelogram. So let me divide both the figures so that you will get the clarity. So here ABCD is a parallelogram and ABEF is a rectangle. Okay, so ABCD is a parallelogram and ABCD is a parallelogram and ABEF is a rectangle. We have to show that triangle AFD is congruent to triangle BEC. So these two triangles. So we are required to prove here, RTP is required to prove is triangle AFD is congruent to triangle BEC. Triangle AFD is congruent to triangle BEC, that is the required to prove here. So see, from the triangle here, what the two triangles we need to prove? So those two triangles only I am going to consider here. From triangle AFD and triangle BEC. So triangle AFD and triangle BEC, I have considered those two triangles, and from those two triangles here what I am going to write that AF is equal to BE. AF is equal to BE. Okay, let me draw the rough diagram here. It's not a right angle triangle, but obviously it will be a right angle triangle also, because we were considered that ABEF is a rectangle. So in rectangle every angle will be 90 degrees, right? Based on that also you can consider, no issue. So AFD anyhow. So AFD and BEC. So BEC. So these are the two rough diagrams. So I consider AF is equal to BE. AF is equal to BE. Why? Because ABEF is a rectangle. So ABEF is a rectangle. Is it enough to write that ABEF is a rectangle? Actually it is not enough, but you need to understand that in the rectangle, as opposite sides are equal, so AF is equal to BE. That is the reason why, because AF is equal to BE. So we have ABEF is a rectangle, and in a rectangle opposite sides are equal. Similarly here we have AD is equal to BC. AD, this one, is equal to BC. Why? Because see, ADCB. So ADCB is a parallelogram. In parallelogram also opposite sides are equal and parallel, right? So AB, so we'll write simply ABCD is a parallelogram. So that is enough. So what you will get the meaning here. So when it is a parallelogram, in parallelogram we'll have two opposite pairs are equal and parallel. So that's why we have written AD is equal to BC, right? Now remaining thing here, we have the third side, which is FD is equal to, either I need to prove FD is equal to AC, or I need to prove this angle A is equal to angle B. Okay, as of now there is no point to discuss about with respect to the angle. So with respect to the sides only, if we can go here, we can write this AB is equal to FE. Okay, I am writing rough work here. So AB is equal, okay, or else here only will do. From the figure AB is equal to EF. Why? Because AB is equal to EF, because ABEF is a what? A rectangle. It's a rectangle. So in rectangle opposite sides are equal. So here AB is equal to EF. Can I write EF from the figure? From the combined figure, can I write like ED plus DF, right? So here instead of this EF, I have written this DE plus FD. Okay, FD or DF both will give the same sense. Let me take it as 1. Okay, now here similarly this AB, when this AB is equal to EF, as per the rectangle, the same AB can be equal to CD as per the what? Parallelogram. ABCD is a parallelogram. So in parallelogram also we'll have opposite sides are equal and parallel. So based on that, so here AB is equal to CD. CD also we can write in the combination something like, you know, CF CE plus ED. CE plus ED. Okay, I have written the same. Let me consider 2. Now if you observe clearly, from 1 and 2, the left hand sides are equal. AB and AB are equal, right? Now if I can equate this right hand side, now what I'll get, let us see. I am going to erase this one, or this rough diagram. Now as per 1 and 2, if I equate this right hand sides, I will be getting ED plus DF is equal to CE plus ED. Now ED will get cancelled when I transpose any one of the ED to any one side. So I will be getting DF is equal to CE. DF is equal to CE. So as I drawn the rough diagram, so all the three sides in the triangle, AF is equal to BE, AD is equal to BC, and DF is equal to CE. So by triple F congruency rule, we can write that triangle AFD is congruent to triangle BEC. Okay, you need to write once again all the three statements from both the triangle. We got AF is equal to BE, AD is equal to BC, and DF is equal to CE. Therefore, by triple S congruency rule, these two triangles are congruent. You are supposed to write, as we are writing a descriptive exam. During the descriptive exam, you have to write that step. Okay, clear? So let's go to the next problem now. Next one is, we need to prove that in a rhombus, show that the diagonals of a rhombus divide into 4 congruent triangles. Show that the diagonals of the rhombus divide 4 congruent triangles. So AC is a diagonal, BD is another diagonal, So we are supposed to prove that due to these two diagonals, we will be having, obviously here we have 4 triangles. So these 4 triangles are congruent. We are supposed to prove that these 4 triangles are congruent. Okay. So first of all, you should know that in rhombus, what is the property as per the sides? All the sides are equal. All the sides are equal in rhombus, right? So let us go with the first 2 triangles. Let me take this AOB and this COD. From triangle AOB, sorry, I did not mention here. So let me take O. I will mention that O is the point of intersection of both the diagonals. Okay. So from triangle AOB and triangle COD. From triangle AOB, that means, let me label it for our convenience, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I took 2 and 4. First of all, I took 2 and 4. Now here, you know, angle OAB, this angle, is equal to angle OCD, this angle, and at the same time here angle ODC, that means this angle is equal to angle OBA, because alternate interior angle, right? Because we know that the opposite sides are equal and they are parallel in the parallelogram, in a rhombus, right? So they are equal, all the sides, not only opposite side, all the sides are equal, but especially the opposite sides are parallel. So these lines will be considered as a transversals when they are parallel. So due to that, we can consider that will be an alternate interior angles. We can have alternate interior angles here. So we got the two angles equal as of now. Then as usual, you know that AB is equal to CD. Why? Because it's a part of overall rhombus. So AB is equal to CD. What is the definition of, I mean, what is the property of the rhombus? Normal, or else you can go with the definition. All the sides, with respect to the sides, all the sides are equal. So AB is equal to BC is equal to CD is equal to DA. So we can consider AB is equal to CD. So since ABCD is a rhombus. Now if you can observe clearly, in the two triangles, angle side angle, corresponding angle side angle are equal. Therefore by ASA, triangle AOB is congruent to triangle COD. Okay, so for our convenience I am just writing here 2 is congruent to 4. We have shown that 2 is congruent to 4. Now let me take 1 and 4. Similarly from triangle AOD and triangle COD, triangle AOD and triangle COD, here also what I can write, see, let me draw the rough diagram so that you will get more clarity. DOA and DOC. So here OA is equal to OC. Why? Because since triangle AOB is congruent to triangle COD, right? So by CPCT, corresponding parts of congruent triangles. This AO is a part of the second one, and this OC is part of fourth one. These two triangles already congruent, so they are the corresponding sides. That's why I took those, I mean, support of that condition. So here OA is equal to OC. Then apart from that, AD is equal to CD. So which is nothing but here ABCD is a rhombus. So due to that definition of rhombus, we'll get AD is equal to CD. So we got OA is equal to OC, and then AD is equal to CD. Why? Because ABCD is a rhombus, so all sides are equal. And then we have OD is equal to OD, which is the common side. OD is equal to OD. So by triple S congruency rule, here, triangle AOD will be congruent to triangle COD. So we have proved successfully 1 is also congruent to 4. Now remaining is 3. Either we'll take 2 and 3, or 3 and 4, or we can take 1 and 3 also. Are you getting my point? So we can take 1 and 3 also, we can take 4 and 3 also, we can take 2 and 3 also. Same content again. We can prove, so, or else directly you can write similarly. No need to prove, as we have already proved 2. So similarly, but you take any combination, either 1 and 3 or 4 and 3 or 2 and 3. So here I am writing, let us take 1 and 3. Okay, so triangle AOD is congruent to triangle BOC. So we have 1 congruent to 3. Now if you observe clearly, this AOB is congruent to this is congruent to this and this. So indirectly, if you can just check, that is why I have written our as per our convenience I have written this. So here if you observe clearly, 2 is congruent to 4, 1 is congruent to 4. So indirectly 1, 2, 4 are congruent, and this 1 is congruent to 3. So by all these 3, or else you can consider something like 1 here, 2 here, 3. So by 1, 2 and 3, what we can write? We can write that triangle AOD congruent to triangle AOB congruent to triangle BOC congruent to triangle COD. So hence the diagonals of rhombus has been divided into 4 congruent triangles. So the statement has been proved. Clear? let's move on to the next question. So here comes to the next question. So in a quadrilateral ABCD, here they have been given this is the bisector of angle D and this is the bisector of angle C. Okay, so the bisector of angle C and angle D, here we need to prove that they will intersect at O, obviously. So angle COD is equal to half of angle A plus angle B, half of angle A plus angle B. So that is what we have to prove. Okay, so let us look into that. Obviously we will write, first we'll write the given that ABCD is a quadrilateral, and from the C, if you want, you can write something, you can give the name like X and Y. So CX will be the bisector of the angle C, DY will be the bisector of angle D, and they both intersect at O. So first of all, ABCD is a quadrilateral. ABCD is a quadrilateral, some kind of quadrilateral. We cannot judge that it will be okay. I some of you might be predicting that it may be a parallel, trapezium. But let us consider ABCD is a quadrilateral. So in a quadrilateral, as per the angle sum property, what we can write, angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D is equal to 360. So here, see, we need to get half of angle A plus angle B. So here what I am going to do, I am going to transpose this part to that side. So what I'll get, I'll be getting angle C plus angle D is equal to 360 minus of angle A plus angle B. Okay, I am not going to apply that negative sign. So if I apply that, obviously I will be getting minus A minus B. So here now what I am going to do, divide by 2 on both sides. Then what I'll get, I'll be getting half angle C plus half angle D. I have been split it directly. So 360 by 2 means you will get 180, and here it comes half of angle A plus angle B. Okay, so let us consider 1. So what I did, as per the angle sum property, I have been considered sum of angles equal to 360. I found angle C plus angle D value, then I divide by 2. So I got angle, half of angle C plus half of angle D is equal to this one. Now if you observe clearly, okay, fine. So let us write the same thing, half of angle C plus half of angle D only. Now let's move to the triangle DOC. From triangle DOC, there also I can see half of angle C and half of angle D. That because of we have a DY and a CX as the bisectors, no? So from triangle COD, there CX is a bisector, so half of angle C plus DY is a bisector of angle D, so half of angle D plus, and we have angle COD is equal to 180 degrees. Angle sum property in the triangle, right? So based on that, actually if we have the complete angle, we used to write angle C plus angle D plus angle O, but this CX is a bisector, so we have only this much of triangle. So we have only this much of triangle. Let me draw the rough diagram here. So C, D and O. So this angle plus this angle plus this angle is equal to 180 degrees. So half of angle C plus half of angle D plus angle COD is equal to 180. So here also what I can write, half angle C plus half angle D is equal to 180 minus angle COD. Let me take 2. Okay, I hope so everyone understood 1 and 2. So here 1 and 2, clearly if you can see, the left hand sides are equal. From 1 and 2, the left hand sides are equal. Now so I can equate the right hand side. Okay, let us equate that and let us see what will happen now. So as per the 1 and 2, I have written, so 180 minus of half of angle A plus angle B is equal to 180 minus of angle COD. Now here if I can transpose any of the 180 to any of the side, I mean this to this side or this to this side, these two will get cancelled. Okay, so what I'll get, it implies half of angle A plus angle B is equal to minus of angle COD. Minus minus also will get cancelled. So overall I can write angle COD is equal to half of angle A plus angle B. That is the RTP required to prove. Okay, so in the quadrilateral, when we have a dy and cx as the bisectors of the angle C and angle D, we have proved that angle COD is equal to half of angle A plus angle B. Clear? Hope so understand. So like this we have a couple of examples here, so we'll be doing in the next sessions. So these are the main things, and we have more geometrical statements which we are supposed to discuss. So based on that, when you know that statements, also the same questions you can prove in a different manner by applying those statements based on the diagonal of the parallelogram and different criteria like some geometrical criteria. So we have these are the statements we need to discuss. So this, once have a look on these couple of statements, like one of the statement that the diagonals of the rhombus are perpendicular to each other. So based on that, if when you know that property, you can prove the same question. We have proved that the diagonals of the rhombus divide into 4 congruent triangles. So but we did not use any kind of 90 degrees or what do you say, right angle property there. But when you know this point, the diagonals of the rhombus are perpendicular to each other, we can prove the same statement, I mean the same proof in by using this statement also. Okay, that is what I want to clear here. So once have a look on. So as per the CBSE and state, so in the next sessions we will be discussing more important proofs. So please guys, like my video, share with your friends, and in case if some of you did not subscribe my channel, please subscribe it and support me. Okay, thank you very much. Good day. Bye bye.